All right, yeah. So plan for rest of the stream is to get the MSQ done. I don't know how long it is. I don't want to know how long it is before I do it either. If I have time after that, then I'll probably just do either some maps or some gathering. One or two. I mean, like orange scripts, because you know, new mount. Here we go. Bol Wuruk. Oh, hi Ivy. You here for MSQ? See, Ivy. Look, Ivy's here too. I got my very own Wooklamat right here. See? Are you the Dawn Servant? Are you the Dawn Servant? There you go. Alright, Ivy, I gotta do the MSQ. I don't know how long this is gonna take. Just lay down. Lay down. Come on. There you go. Okay. Bolwaruk is eager to hear how you have been getting on. It's a pleasure as always, mister. Have you been able to relax lately? Wonderful. As busy as you have, with the right of succession among other things, you deserve an opportunity to experience Tuliyollal at a more leisurely pace. Sampling the tacos of Zoraal Ja is one such way to do so. Tacos are real MVP here. They've made the traditional way and laden with fillings and are absolutely sublime. If you have an empty stomach, the owner, Brukavu, will look after you. Tacos everywhere. The meow of resolve. Yes, Ivy is the meow of resolve. Oh, it's just this one right over here. I was thinking of going to the other taco stand, but that's true. There is this one. There are the two, because we went to the other taco stand for the other quest. So I was like, all right, we'll go here. Everywhere has tacos. It's tacos here, tacos there. Hello, Brukavu. I still have to do the role quest even. If it isn't Mister, alone today, are you? I see. You have a hankering for tacos there on the house. Consider it a token of gratitude for your help tracking down these treasures. Go ahead and find a table. I'll bring you your meal as soon as it's ready. Taco, taco, taco. I love delicious tacos. I haven't had a taco proper in quite some time. The avocado, the onion. I'm a raw onion enjoyer. You still love tacos, I hope. You ate so much though, when you turned 5, you could barely move afterwards. Remember that? No, not really. That was 30 years ago for me. Right, sorry. It's strange to me too. Just the other day, you were a boy clinging to your mother's skirt as you set off for Yasulani. Now you're a man grown with a face full of hair. Even so, I knew you were my son the instant I saw you. We're still family, and you can always rely on me. Relying. It feels like the only thing I'm doing right now. On you and everyone else. I can't even start a fire without assistance at my new job. Back in Alexandria, we had Electrope. If I needed fire, all I had to do was press a button. Everything was on our fingertips. But here I'm helpless. A culinarian who can't even light a stove. The way the others in the kitchen stared at me. Gods, I've never felt so embarrassed. I'm sorry to hear that. I've been told the tales, but it seems life is really different within the dome. My wife and children. I was thinking I'd have them join me once things had settled, but at this rate... I say you send for them. If they're your family, then they're mine too. I'll do whatever is necessary to make it work. I like that they're showing someone from Solution 9 joining again. Hello, Wuklamat. Didn't mean to overhear, but it seems you're having trouble readjusting to life in Tuliyollal. Wuklamat. To aid folk like yourself, we've established a support group at the Wing of Reflection. There you can learn the skills you need to live outside the dome. It isn't easy being back, I know, but I'm hopeful that you can make things easier. That's exactly what I need. I'll definitely seek this group out. And I'll bring my family with me. Thank you. Oh, look who it is. I was just about to go and find you, mister. You don't mind the company, I hope. I could use a bite to eat myself. Well, I mean, it's the other side of the conversation that we had with, well, within the dome itself. Because within the dome, we deal with the opposite side of it, where they lost the person. Our favorite bunny boy losing his parent instead of getting to being able to be properly reunited and continue life. The tacos here never disappoint. So what have you been up to lately? Been making a name for myself at the Arcadian. You're fighting in the arena in Alexandria. By facing off against tough opponents, I'd wager you've honed your skills even further. As for myself, I've been kept busy with duties at the palace, but whenever I find a moment, I like to walk the streets and talk to the people. That way I can better understand the problems they have and share them with Koana to figure out solutions. I was on one such walk just now. As I mentioned, I was hoping to find you. Koana and I have something we want to discuss with you, as Dawn servants. Do you have time to come to the palace? Great. I'll go on ahead. Please come and join us once you've finished here. You got it, Wook-Lamont. Yeah, I'm saving my role quests until the joint role quest comes out so I can do them all back to back. That way I can have like the full experience of all the quests like consecutively. I wasn't originally going to do that. I just didn't get around to the role quest while I was making content, and then I thought about that as I was like considering doing it. It seems Kona's gone somewhere. Sorry. Master Mister, it's always an honor. While Kwana stepped away to attend to a pressing matter, we should join you within before long. It's just in your settings, Batman. The system settings. I assume this will be a voiced scene, so I can auto-advance. Hello, friends. Raha, did you get your taco? Oh, it's not. Never mind. Oh, you're all here too? Valkona summoned us. Though truth be told, Alphino and I have been seeing him quite regularly of late. He asked us to share knowledge of Hanish culture, you see, in hopes of further strengthening your alliance. We, of course, were happy to oblige him. Kyle and I were likewise summoned. Otherwise, we've been carrying on with our work, compiling information on the Golden City. My grandfather embarked on his investigation 20 years ago. With our report, we shall finish what he started. Lest you wonder, Thancred and Urian J have left to resume their tour of Tural. Ishtola, meanwhile, is back to researching cross-rift travel. She was here just a few days ago to get Korna's permission to investigate living memory. By the way, she mentioned wanting to take a look at the key in your keeping at some point. If the look she had in her eyes was any indication, I'd suggest you brace yourself for when she comes calling. You'll like to be stuck with her for a while. Ishtola, main character, next expansion. As for Astinian, we know neither where he is nor what he is doing. Some things never change. I wouldn't be surprised to see Astinian show up in the Arcadian. That seems like a very him thing to do. My apologies for the delay. Think nothing of it. We took advantage of the time to catch up. So what can we do for you? Hopefully present company is enough for whatever it is you need. The matter for which I have summoned you pertains to Alexandria. A state funeral will soon be held in Solution 9 to mourn the passing of Queen Sphene. King Zoraal Ja and his administration have invited us to attend. While certain issues remain unresolved between our nations, such as the treatment of Yasulani, I see no reason not to attend. For generations, the Alexandrians lived without even the awareness of death. I wouldn't have expected them to have funeral rites still. Apparently, the members of Oblivion unearthed records of ceremonies that were conducted in the Alexandria of old. It was they who put forth the proposal that the Queen be thus honored. Leave it to that lot to think of such things. The people of Alexandria no longer forget the departed. They are being confronted with the idea of death for the first time. I suspect our friends wanted to do something for them. Though Sphene was but a simulacrum, she was nonetheless a pillar for her people. The pillar of the pain of her passing must run deep. Graha's like, I mean, I was a pillar and I just left. I sacrificed myself and then just left. They're doing fine. Indeed. The funeral will give Alexandrians a chance to come together to express their grief, that they might overcome it. I wasn't so sure at first, but I've decided to go. Not only to be there for Zoraal Ja, but to put this chapter behind us. That I requested your presence was none other than to see if you wished to attend the funeral. You knew Sphene as well, after all. I think I should go too. Not like I have a choice, but still. Because you consider yourself responsible for her demise, I take it. But that's not a burden for you to bear alone. Here's my idea. As vow, I'll attend the funeral as a representative of Tuliyollal. Meanwhile, you can go in a personal capacity and watch over the people as they mourn. I feel that the rest of us should go too. Regardless of the reason, the fact remains that we deprived Alexandria of a beloved ruler. It's only right that we remember who Sphene was, to her people and to others. So let us stand with you. Then it's decided. Let's head to Solution 9 and look for Zoraal Ja in the back room. I know he's a king and he still hangs out in the back room. Humble beginnings, man. He's like, this is where I'm most comfortable. Crossroads. That was very ominous for what seemed to be a very innocent start to the patch. Granted, we do at the very least know we have the spooky dungeon, even if I don't know how spooky. Though I too would ideally attend the funeral. Given the circumstances, I think it best that Lama Chi represents us. Besides, I need to be on hand to oversee the city's repairs, which is taking longer than expected. When that work is complete, we will finally look into installing new thrones. Yeah, probably need a couple of them, but to have Father's throne still here, it makes me feel he is close by. I'm quite happy for it to remain for a while. I mean, leave it there and then build the other 2 thrones in front of it. That way it's like a legacy thing, man. Trust me, if there's anything us Final Fantasy 14 players know, it's about how to be boomers that care about legacy. We're experts. I'm legacy, and I pay less dollars per month. It's great. I then get a bunch of retainers to make up for it, but it's great. You head to the back room. Hey, buddy. Just put an armrest through the center. Now that's thinking smart. Ah, you came for the funeral. Of course. I'm the only one who officially take part, though. The others will watch over the proceedings. So how have you been? It's been a while since my last visit. I'm good. Shail is always teaching me new things. Recently, I've learned about Everkeep systems and the mechanical soldiers. It's knowledge I'll need to use my authority properly. Studious as always, I see. By way of a treat, I brought you a gâteau al chocolat. It's a kind of cake. I think you'll like it. Thank you, Lamachi, and thank you for coming. I've never been to a funeral before, so I feel less nervous having you here. Out of curiosity, what's the custom in Alexandria? In our world, it's common to offer flowers to the departed. It's much the same here according to the records. Flowers will be distributed to all attendees. Considering that all the worlds used to be one, the practice of offering flowers may well be the same ancient origin. Fascinating, wouldn't you say? Can I give them an Elpis bloom? Please? If we really want to go with ancient ways? Can I give them an Elpis bloom? I'll listen, I'll stop. I'll go to the past real quick and just grab a few. It'll be fine. Flowers are being handed out at Praxis Park. I'm thinking of heading over there now. We'll join you. There's a man I would like to speak with, Gosan. He was apparently Sphene's aide and the one who sent us the invitation. Come on, let's go. You're not late. Nope, just getting started. Let's go over here. I've got cat in my lap, too. No cat in the hat, but a cat in the lap. That I can work with. Why, yo. I'm Val Wuklamat of Tuliyollal. Thank you for extending us an invitation to Queen Sphene's funeral. We are honored, truly. I had seen you before from a distance, but never had the pleasure. I am Gosan, former chief aide to the Queen. Since her passing, I have been responsible for administering affairs of state. Can we get our flowers here? Yes, Your Majesty. The flowers are being handed out at the counter yonder, alongside the regulators. What? Do we need to wear regulators for the funeral? Rest assured they are not a requirement. We are where your people do not use them. You see, the people in Alexandria of old wore tokens of mourning upon their persons when attending funerals. As such tokens were black, it was suggested we might wear regulators painted the same color. We've yet to produce enough for everyone, but we're distributing them as we are able. I see. Yet regulator or no, the important thing is that we remember Queen Sphene. Remember her and her kindness as you make an offering of your flower. I will. The proceedings will soon begin in this plaza. Please take your place once you have the flower. Can we get some folding chairs out here, please? I'm standing all the time in this game. I will assume, again, that this is finally a voiced scene. Oh, they have an Ethernet shard for her. That's nice. Damn, that's a lot of people. I mean, to be fair, we also had the crowds in Tuliyollal. That's a really weird way to arrange people, but okay. There's like, what? There's like 100 people who can't even see the... What? Good thing we got front row seats. They probably got screens. They were too slow.
Although we are gathered here for the same reason, we hail from different lands.
I like the flowers on the Ethernet.
Some were born and raised in the Alexandria of old, while others came to us from Tuliyollal. It was from this union of diverse peoples that a new Alexandria was born. The only home that our younger generation knows. How did we overcome the barriers between us? What moved us to join hands in common purpose beneath crackling skies?
Lack of an alternative?
You know the answer. We survived. We thrived because Queen Sphene brought us together.
All right, if you say so. Yeah, we know a little more.
Inspired and encouraged by her boundless kindness, we strove to be better for ourselves as well as those around us. And in Her Majesty's absence, there is a sadness beyond words. Yet we will remember her. Remember all the good that she has done for us. So let us pray, as the people of the Old Kingdom once did, for the peaceful repose of the departed. And let us keep our beloved Queen forever in our hearts, that her memory might guide us unto the morrow. Would that I could find solace in my own words.
Don't worry, been there, Gosen. Everyone line up. We got flowers to place. Little by little, the flowers will pile up. Luckily, it's he doesn't have to reach up very high. It's not that much taller than him.
Was Queen Sphene taken to the cloud?
She must have been. To still remember her is strange, isn't it,
I'll be in the corner not saying anything.
I miss her. She would always cheer me up when I was down. But even though I remember her, I'll never see her again. That doesn't make sense.
Well, it's gonna have to start making sense.
It seems that's what it means to die, I'm afraid.
But what will happen to us? Are we just going to be sad forever?
No, you'll get over it eventually. In theory.
What will happen indeed? Everything that we have, we owe to Queen Sphene. How are we to go on without her?
Zoraal Ja's got this, don't worry.
I still remember Her Majesty so clearly. If only I didn't, I might feel better about the future of our realm.
Perhaps we should also consider moving to Tuliyollal. The journey won't be easy, but it'd be better than staying here in uncertainty.
Persevere.
In times like these, I take comfort in the beliefs of a Turali people called the Yokui.
Yakui.
To them, death isn't the end. So long as we're remembered, we never truly die. It could be the same for Queen Sphene, you know? If you keep her alive in your hearts, she'll always be with you.
But we still won't be able to see her, right? I don't want to think about that. I wish I could just forget instead of having to feel like this.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to impose. Please, mourn your queen however you see fit.
Oh. Fair.
As expected, they struggle to come to terms with their loss. I hope they can find a way to move forward.
It's not only grief that weighs on them, but worry for the future. Bereft of their queen, how will they proceed?
We need a strong king, Zoraal Ja.
True. But with that at least, we're not powerless to help. What is it, Zoraal Ja?
I was wondering, is it better to remember or forget someone when they're dead? I remember my father, and every time I think of him, it hurts.
He was kind of a
It's
dickhead,
the
so
same
that's
with
fair.
Queen Sphene. Knowing that she's gone makes me feel sad.
Good night, Dante.
But it's different with my mother. I never knew her, so I don't feel as bad. I want to remember my father, but maybe I'd be better off forgetting him.
Zoraal Ja.
Why don't we continue this somewhere else?
No, right here is fine. That darn regulator. Oh, look, Lamont. Alright, let me do this. Hey, Zoraal Ja, do you really know nothing at all about your mother? Shale searched the system for information on residents, but only Mamjashi found listed were my father and me. Even if she died and was erased from people's memories, she should have been there, but she wasn't. Well, then you're here. Well, that you're here means she was here too, inside the dome. There can't be any other way about it. Do you want to know your mother? I think so. Even if it makes me feel sad, I want to know her. So I want to try looking again. If I don't find anything this time, I'll give up. I see. Well, if that's what you want. Then I'll help you. I'd like to help as well, and I believe I speak for the others too. But I can't bother you with this. You already came for the funeral. We came here not for the funeral, to see whether all was well in Alexandria. We're not about to leave just yet. Besides, in seeking to learn about your mother, we're bound to learn about your father as well. By retracing the steps of this man who kept his own counsel, we may gain knowledge that can serve the people of Alexandria. Alright. Thank you, everyone. I got your back, little buddy. Thanks for the 491 gil also. Assuming neither memories nor records of Zoraal Ja's mothers remain, we must cast as wide a net as possible. I suggest we split into groups. Mister, if you can make some inquiries outside in the outskirts, the rest of us will do the same in Solution 9. See, here's the thing. He's going to learn about his deceased mother, and if nobody knew anything, or there was no way to remember her or learn about her, then he would never have the satisfaction of that. Instead, if he was just gone forever and he could never find out anything. And would never even be curious about it. That is strength. You're looking for a Zoraal Ja woman. Oh, Zoraal Ja's mother. Can't help you there, I'm afraid. I only know a little about Zoraal Ja, and then only what my father told me. He said that before the dome cut us off from the outside world, a Tural Vidral had appeared and was terrorizing the region. In response, Zoraal Ja assembled a party of warriors, and with them confronted and felled the beast. It's interesting to hear of the king's feat in the past. The kid's got cojones. A Zoraal Ja woman. Their people have never been a common sight around here. Why, the last time I saw one would have been before the dome came down over our heads. She was among an entourage of Landsguard that was dispatched here. I assume they all returned to Tuliyollal after their mission. But if any remained, I suppose they could have been trapped in here with the rest of us. Well, at least she's seeing something. Sorry, but I've never heard of the Zoraal Ja woman living in these parts, much less one connected to Zoraal Ja. You might have better luck talking to the people over at a Tanawatan settlement to the north of Everkeep, in a place called Uiawata. The resilient son won their loyalty when he saved them from some crisis or another, so the story goes. If I remember correctly, their chief's name was Kaniloka. That's just because he's just smart. Riding home. Okay, it's done. I have information. Zoraal Ja has told me well. We previously tracked down records. We previously tried to track down records of his mother, but came up empty-handed. With everyone's help, hopefully we can get somewhere this time. I jotted down some notes for you. Hopefully my handwriting's not too bad. It's atrocious. So you spoke with quite a few different people as well. Let us combine all our findings and see what conclusions we might draw. So Zoraal Ja brought a retinue of Landsguard to Yassulani, among whom was a female Mamujah. His mission was to rid the region of a Tiral Vidral, and I believe it is safe to say that it was the crisis in Tuliyollal he resolved. If some of his troops stuck around for a time, perhaps to assist the villagers with recovery efforts, then they could have indeed gotten trapped in the dome. We've also heard stories about the settlement in Tuliyollal. People lived there until nearly a decade ago, and Zoraal Ja made regular visits. If he required secrecy, a location home to his most loyal followers would be ideal. And this Mamujah woman had remained, if this Mamujah woman had remained there, they would have had occasion to come in contact. I see, but what could Zoraal Ja have been doing in that village? I think we can answer that question. In order to retrace Zoraal Ja's steps, Raha and I spoke with a researcher who worked at Origenics. He said that approximately 20 years ago, a number of his colleagues were transferred to a research facility outside Everkeep, by the King's direct order. This is the first I've heard of such a facility. Only Vanguard was believed to have been under the King's jurisdiction. It was apparently being used to develop a new kind of weapon, but I'm afraid that's all we could learn. There's plenty to go on. Even if the work there was classified, any materials and equipment needed would have been manufactured within Everkeep. So if we look into transportation records... Hello, Flo. Good morning. There it is. The routes are full of detours and attempts at obfuscation, but large deliveries were being made to Tuliyollal, far too large for a mere village. There hasn't been any activity for years, though. It's likely the facility has been decommissioned. Do you think that's where my mother was? We can't say for certain just yet, but I reckon there's a good chance. This is amazing. Even though no one remembers her, you managed to figure all of this out. Each piece of a puzzle may reveal little on its own, but when we put several together, a picture begins to form. And even should the memories fade, footprints remain to mark the path of those who walked before. A lesson I learned in another life. So we'll be investigating the secret facility in Tuliyollal then. And this time, I want you to come along, Zoraal Ja. Zoraal Ja's best character. Tuliyollal is on the other side of the lake. To get there, you'll need to take a hover cargo from the drift downs. Alright. Thank you, Shale. It's going good. Unreal's done, Alliance Raid done, now MSQ gonna be done. It's off to a fine start. Neither here nor there. Nice to continue the themes from the rest of the MSQ, which is expected. Unreal's really easy. Byakko was never that hard. Bad on farm, fine to do a couple times. Alright, I'm going to be making a PF for Tuliyollal here in a second. First come, first serve. It'll be one of each role I need. Normally I do it with trusts, but I'll do it with people. I can always do it with trust afterwards. So the hover cargo will take us across the lake. I've never been over there before. It's still inside the dome, so I don't expect it'll be too different from here. We'll likely encounter dangerous beasts, so the rest of us will go first. You follow when it's safe to do so, alright? Alright. Be careful, everyone. Yeah, I'll probably do the notes after. Like, I'll clear it, and then I'll hit return. And then go back and do... Instead of stopping in the middle of the dungeon to do the notes, just double back. It's just easier. Tuliyollal Field Station. Alright, this is on Ether. Passwords 1227. 1 tank, 1 healer, 1 DPS. Easy. Meanwhile, let me clear my phone of all its notifications. Goodness. Still got a healer and a DPS spot. Make sure it's nothing important that I'm missing. Hey, when I hear the sound effect, there it is. That was easy. Alright. Lego. Tuliyollal Field Station. Oh! You'll sit through the intro screen and like it. Oh, that thing looks friendly. It's got a very in the dome audio track. All the lightning ether. Yippee! Second chance points. It's a pretty chill theme. My father must have come here for a reason. I have no idea the pace of the dungeon, so I'll probably take it pretty easy on using 2s on trash. Normally I would just pop 2s here and just go nuts. What a big mouth you have. I don't know what you're talking about, MB. Dude, the logs in this world are made of something else. They're so strong. I am hitting all of them here. Yeah, that's why they've got so much. There's so much muscles on all the gatherers. Why, hello, first boss. I like the model for that. Zagnal. Continuing with the Final Fantasy IX references, of course. Well, except that people don't get pushed around in that fight, Rio. Why, I would think more so referring to Sphene. Alright, so he's goring. Oh, that thing. Is that thing gonna fall? I'm assuming. Oh, God, that's not a fall. Just some AoEs, it's fine. Oh, well, it is gonna fall. It looks like just there. Oh. No, he caber tossed it. I haven't watched somebody do a caber toss in ages. Like a real caber toss. Dangerous. Alright, what's he goring now? The ground? Electrope emerges from the ground. Do not let its gauge... I like the gauge over its head, too. There's so much gauge. Don't worry, I don't find this fight goring at all. I actually find it quite electrifying. No. No. What kind of research did they do here? I'm not going to read the research note yet. I will come back through the dungeon and read it later. And I mean, like, right after we're done. I'll just return back to the start. You can't ban me. I'm too strong. There's already 2 research notes. Well, this doesn't look good for any... Ah, here we go. Zombies. They're moving. They are indeed moving. Good observation. Ah, yes. Undead. Listen, for a place that has eternal life, they were just studying eternal unlife. That's all. Yeah. When's the Power Wash Simulator collaboration with this level? Don't worry, I love Layden's bite. That makes 3 research notes. There's probably some in some of the side rooms also, since I noticed that you can actually go inside them. Hello, Keneloka. You look like you've... I like the idea that he's just been sitting here waiting. Oh, this was just... now it just looks like it was another soul farm for... Zoraal Ja, since this guy is asking me for my souls. Oh, don't tell me you're gonna do what I think you're gonna do. Okay, he didn't. Thought it was about to be another soul split. Spooky! Spooky ghosts! Oh! Alright, it's persistent. Got it. I know now. It's a persistent AoE. It's alright, I just wanted to slow the boss down, that's all. I'm sprinting! There you go. That's a very, I can already see expert roulettes going very, very poorly during that section. I can already foresee. Healer died 4 times. Yeah, that's why I was like, you know what? I don't... Oh, God. I actually took that hit. Is my ping too good? Must have walked back into it. Listen, I got hit by a few AoEs here. When those snapshots actually pretty interesting. They snapshot, well, they actually snapshot one at a time. Which makes sense because they come out one at a time. Yeah, I definitely don't want to mess with, I don't, listen, I'm a Fizz range. I have no reason to not just trust that, that it'll kill me. Isn't that a storm? Interesting. It's a big storm. It's a very sprightly stone. Very sprightly. Definitely not 7-Up. Giga Chad Rock. Really? I don't get anything for the 7-Up joke? Disappointing. Oh, hey, the bug is back. They haven't fixed it. I just did the 180 thing. Huh, I wonder if what causes it now, then. Where your latence by animation just goes off behind you. What is a spriggan but a pile of rocks? A pilot of rocks. A miserable little pile of rocks.
It's you!
7 apply stone. There you go. Enormous. What are we talking about? Love seeing a slow on an enemy. The arm's length usage. They do, they drop materia. Well, these ones do. They just always drop those items. What do we got here? Is that a bunny? Hey guys, I won loot. Oh, God. Lunipiati. That is a frightening way to reuse the carbuncle skeleton. I could see the ear, so I was like, what in the hell is that? Carbunicle. Carbunicle. There you go, carbunicle, yeah. Wow, that's a hell of a jump. Carbunicle. Time to get devoured. Yeah, well, I know what that does. Oh, he does not instantly follow it up with the bunny tail. Granted, his tail be kind of small. He's loafing. All right, arena is smaller. I thought that was going to be larger. Oh, well, you know. Woo! Oh, never mind. That doesn't even give a magic ball. That's fine. Oh, hey, it's Ruby Weapon. That looks so cool. The animation is so cool. Whoa, tiny. Very smooth animation. Crater carve. Oh. They're gonna make a hole in the ground? I'm not gonna go there. I'm gonna assume that's bad. All right, or that I need to go in there. No? Okay, not going in there. The name of it gave it away that I probably don't want it. The term crater carve. Oh, God. No, 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 no. Running, 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 still running. Oh, God. Well, there goes one. Hey, we need that guy. That's a raid wide. Tank overboard! Well, the good news is I now know for certain that you die if you go in the hole. As if I needed the confirmation, but still. I imagine face target getting many a person killed here. Hey, there's no positionals at least. Damn, I was about to backflip into the hole. No, I was gonna backflip. Whee! Oh. Well, let's just consider that really good timing for surviving. Tried to do it at the last second. I'd laugh if I did actually die. I didn't see my health dropped. I don't think it did. Pretty sure I did it at like just barely the right time. Damn it! Oh, I was standing over there. So I kind of made it. Woo! My hat is crazy. It was crazy about my hat. Oh, Oh, did you gap close? Oh no! People in the duty finder are gonna gap close. All right, I gotta go read the field notes. That was close. Felt the earth shake as the way all the way at the cliff. We did it. I did it. What do you mean not sure if you can go back? Just use return. I think the first field notes are after the first boss, but I'll just double check. Why is it called a gap closer if I can't close the gap? That's so stupid. Yeah, all the research notes are inside. I thought so, but I figured just in case I missed something, I would look. Yeah, just watch my video on Hueno. They cannot. The Shikuchi and the portals do not change your ground access. I can tell you that from a decade of playing this game that wouldn't work. All right, research note numero uno. While His Majesty Zoraal Ja is not the first to conceive of transferring a beast's soul into a person's body, safety and ethical concerns have ensured no earnest attempts have been made to date. Yet our king believes that there is no greater evil than to hinder the potential of man, and so he has ordered us to make this conception a reality. He would bolster our military might and break through into the outside world. If our research will further this ambition, then perhaps it's worth pursuing. So this is where they create... Don't let the Arcadian people find out that this is where that beast soul thing came into function. It's a pretty standard dungeon. It's very Dawn Trail-esque dungeon, which is for the better. Our bodies are fragile vessels. Although the infusion of another person's soul confers strength and vitality, the soul of a beast yields mixed results. Even when stripped of memories, my feral soul can induce physiological instability with the subject. I suspect this is because primal instinct remains. And while certain amounts of bestial ferocity is expected, and I dare say welcomed, too many such souls can lead to physical mutation. For now, our objective shall be to determine the threshold beyond which a body is at risk of uncontrolled mutation. Yeah, it's not good. That's not a good thing to be trying to figure out, Zoraal Ja. The rate of transfiguration may be dictated by the potency of the soul consumed. We've experimented with fiends of great power, but mutations were observed after the infusion of merely a single soul. No better was this phenomenon illustrated than with poor Atticus. His body was altered irreparably. He lost all capacity for rational thought. While the primary objective of this research was to utilize the soul of a Tural Vidral, I struggle to see a path forward. An alternative approach must be considered. Yeah, good luck sticking a fucking Tural Vidral. You're like you're just hiding in the corner with the little spooky emote. Yeah, Atticus is messed up. We already knew some of the lore for Atticus. But that's very specifically the S rank in Heritage Found. Alright, looks like it's just this note right here. That's one that everyone hates. The source of our failures thus far has been the inability of our bodies to contain feral souls. What if we were to reverse the process by purging a beast of its memories and infusing it with a man's soul, one still possessed of its own memories? We stand to gain absolute control over a vessel of great power. My subordinate who first proposed this brilliant hypothesis shall have the honor of being the first to transcend our meager limits. Damn. That's messed up. He came up with the idea, so he's the one who has to... Alright, well, I mean, that's one way to do it. That's certainly a way to approach it. I think that's the last one. Yeah, so they tried to do it in reverse. They tried to then make a person, put a person soul into a Tuliyollal withdrawal. Not the greatest, still not the greatest of ideas I feel like they could have had, but you know, it's what they landed on, and idiots. Right, alright. And idiots. Yeah, the final fight, most certainly a mercy kill.
For all the talk of my brother felling this beast, he only imprisoned it, like Vali Armanda.
Yeah, there's a reason for that, Wuklamot. Now you need to go read the notes.
From what I could tell, they sought to transfer people's souls and memories into bestial vessels at that
Alright, Kryl read the
facility.
notes. Got it.
The Tuliyollal Vidral explains the need for a remote location. It was doubtless their prime subject. Though I expect Zoraal Ja did not foresee the opportunities it presented when he imprisoned the creature.
Show me more.
And so, in order to prevent the
Oh, hey, it's
breakdown
this
of
guy.
the individual,
We just
I
killed you.
instead seek to transfer their soul into the body of the beast.
This would allow one to wield the power of a Tuliyollal Vidral.
In theory, our initial experiments will involve lesser creatures. But in time, I am confident we will be able to bring even the mightiest under our control.
And what becomes of those who offer their souls?
As they won't be able to return to their original forms, we must consider them lost.
Damn.
But the sacrifice will be worthwhile.
That's
For the
not cool,
armies
man.
we stand to gain will far surpass any composed of mechanical soldiers.
Very well. Recruit volunteers and begin at once.
Oh, at least they're volunteering, Smile.
Thank you, Your Majesty. I shall return to the observatory and see to the necessary preparations.
Hi.
So, you've given him permission?
Zoraal Ja, you will assist Kaniloka. As one of the Land's Guard's finest chirurgeons, your knowledge may be of use in his experiments. You will also watch him closely. In what you learn, you will report to me.
Hi, Mom.
You object to his project? Or are you incapable of performing this duty?
No, Your Majesty.
Zoraal Ja.
Whether we shelter within the dome or expand beyond it, we require great power. But with no one to rely upon, we must take that power for ourselves, even if the means are questionable. I will do as you command. But if Kaniloka's work bears fruit, I wish to beg a boon.
What do you desire?
Something that I had accepted I would never have in Tuliyollal. That I believed would forever be beyond me. That it was foolish to covet. But here and now, it is close. So, Very, very close.
I think she a little cray-cray. She's got a not the greatest taste in men, it seems.
Perform your duty to my satisfaction, and anything you desire is yours.
To be fair, from what we understand in terms of her choices,
What I seek does not lie within this dome.
she seems to only have one.
I cannot prove the miracle. But if what you seek is at hand, then you may claim it, for it has no value to me.
Damn. Well, at least we know her name now. Thanks, Echo.
Are you all right?
Zoraal Ja. Could she be my mother?
She has to be.
Like the people in the outskirts said, few Mamulja lived in Yasulani. I can't imagine many other Ubico women were trapped in the dome. That being the case, she could well be the one.
This observatory Kanaloka returned to, could it not be part of the research facility? We might learn something about Zoraal Ja there.
Sounds like a
That's
plan.
where we're going next then.
But why don't we just all jump in the hole and see what's down there? Zoraal Ja. Wonder what her story is. The research of souls. Oh yeah, he was definitely dedicated. I wish I could see into the past like you. Then I could see people who are gone. Because there aren't any other Mamulja women here, for a long time I couldn't imagine what my mother looked like. But when I visited Tuliyollal and saw some, I was finally able to picture her in my mind. And one day, I hope I can see what she actually looked like as well. Oh, Cryol! While we've discerned the purpose of the research conducted here, the traces of it that remain might afford us greater insight into what came of it. Let us look around for information, as well as a way to the upper level. Oh, there it is. Alright, no such luck. Sometimes when they stick us in these individual zones, I think it was in the Fell Court where you could mount up. There was one of them where you could mount up. And, I know, like, everyone was just running around and, like, didn't realize they could mount up inside. There was one of them. I can't remember which one it was. We were inside the dungeon after the fact and you can actually mount up. Maybe it wasn't Fell Court. It might have been, the 6.4 dungeon. We spent time like in like 6.1 through 6.4. We like spent extra time in the dungeon. No, 6.2 through 6.4. We spent extra time. All right, so we need a verification key. I wonder what Bekluk would make of this research into transfer. Oh yeah, Bekluk would love this. Well, no, Bekluk actually hates that this kind of stuff exists, but is also well versed in it. Researchers likely move between the upper and lower levels. Perhaps we can find a key amongst their belongings. It makes me angry to think about what they did here. Oh, I love the journals of the test subjects. They're recruiting volunteers for a new experiment. I know I'm not as bright as the others, but they wouldn't laugh at me if I was stronger than them. This might be my chance. Soul transferred a few days ago. I can write good, yes. I'm good, very good. Getting hard to control strength. Today bit off hand defeater. Cannot help it, so strong. Hungry. Always hungry. Cannot control. Eat. Eater. Must eat. You find nothing that resembles a key. Yeah, no shit there's not a key in the book. Supplies for the staff. A verification key. I did it. Hey, but what about the other things I wanted to read? That's not cool. I'll never know. Itchy. Tasty. Ugh. Found the key. Good. I'll call the others. Well, no. As soon as I got the key, the ones that I had interacted... Oh, actually, no. You know what? I could have done another one. That's fine. Oh, hold on. They're not voiced anymore. She said... Where is that? It seems the key can be used to operate the lift as well. Up we go. So this is the observatory. I didn't expect it to be similar, but this is a far cry from the temple that held Valigarmanda. All that machinery appears to still be in operation. I expect there are auxiliary systems in place to ensure that monitoring can continue even in emergencies. Yeah, I know, but I don't have it enabled right now. Besides, I don't mind changing it every time. That's what I did for 10 years before they added that recently. The warnings indicate various anomalies related to the seal's failure, most likely. For a blessing, we managed to fell the beast before it could cause harm. Right then, let's see if we can find some clues about Zoraal Ja's mother. Hi. I think I can use this terminal. Shale taught me how. Smart kid. There's so much data. I don't know what we should look at. Perhaps we can narrow it down by searching the input name of Zoraal Ja. I brought up a lot of results. They all seem to say the same thing. Zoraal Ja, Administrator of Experimental Treatments. Research logs. Uh-oh. This sounds good, doesn't it? Chances are the data is encrypted. And even if not, it will take considerable time to go through it all. Then let us take it with us back to the back room and have Shale analyze it. Agreed. Alright, I'll transfer it to this storage device I brought. There, it's finished. Thank you so much for bringing me all the way here, everyone. If you're happy, then so am I. No, I'm happy. Besides, I was able to learn more about my brother as well. It was a fruitful adventure for both of us. Smile. Pray return to the back rooms. And here we are. The authorities will doubtless wish to be informed about the facilities and its contents. First things first, let us deliver the data to Shale. No redemption for Zoraal Ja. Don't care what he said as he died. There is no more. Yes, I'm headed to the back room. Why else would I be talking to you? To see how you're doing? Never. Welcome back. Zoraal Ja has already given me the storage device. There looks to be a wealth of data, all of which is encrypted, so I'll need time to process everything. In that case, Alice and I might take ourselves around the city and check on the people. Hi, their mood has us a bit worried. I don't know if there's anything that we can do to help, but we'll see. Understood. I'll let you know as soon as I've finished my work. Thank you. We'll see you again. Bow, 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 bow. Yes, Geode? Alice isn't wrong. The mood out there is pretty grim. Some of the Tuliyollal remember a time before they were dependent on the Soul System, but even they're unsettled and wondering aloud if they'll have a chance to reunite with old friends and family before they pass on. With good reason, too. The journey home won't be an easy one for those who've grown old. That's why it's mostly been younger folk who've been leaving for Tuliyollal, ones with no elders to care for. Word of that problem has reached us in Tuliyollal. My brother is doing all he can to see that Jacques Tarot Railroad restored to operation, so that people may come and go more freely. Unfortunately, the tracks only go so far as Vanguard, so some traveling by foot will still be necessary. Even so, the railroad would make things a sight easier. How long before it's back in service? Couldn't say. When I left for this visit, Kona seemed reluctant to make promises. But while Shale's working on the data, we could go and see the state of it for ourselves. To Shaloni Station, then. I'll make sure to keep Kona informed. Don't worry, we'll just make bullet trains with the quests. When we do our delivery quests, we'll just make a bullet train. He's not a Chad yet, but he's getting there. Hello, Nito Ikwe. I'll be seeing you in a few weeks. Not yet, Roth. I haven't actually done it yet. Valve Resolve and Mr. Happy to boot. What can I do for you? We are hoping for some good news about the railroad. There's an increasing number of people looking to return to Toral and can't make the journey on foot. I see. As it happens, the Valve Reason is also on his way here to take stock of the situation. Scratch the on his way. Looking nice in your new digs, Aaronville. Did our little Bun finally outgrow his old clothes? Stop that. As you well know, my previous attire was that of a gleaner, and I've chosen a different path. It was time for a change. You're hearing about the railroad too, yes? It was in part for my sake that the original Dawnblazer was sacrificed, so I felt it only right that I assist with its replacement. Speaking of which, I assume Lamachi has explained the growing urgency of the need. What have you to report? The new locomotive was on track for completion, but we're having difficulty pulling her onto the station, in a manner of speaking. You see, when we used the Dawnblazer to get into the dome, urgency outweighed all other considerations, but now we're back to our original problem. How to run the railroad without upsetting the inhabitants of Mewatsoan. That is the Ronik. Though the Hetsaro now that follow them are none too pleased about their Hetso being spooked by the noise of the locomotive either. Solution I've devised to quiet The solution I've devised to quieten the railroad should address that complaint. But a silent train presents a different danger. The Ronique will need to be deterred from wandering across the tracks. I suppose we can't just blow a whistle at them, or they'll panic and be put off grazing again. Weren't the rail routes plotted to avoid the Ronique's preferred grazing? Wait, weren't the railroads plotted to avoid the Ronique's preferred grazing areas, though? It's how they're getting so close in the first place. The Ronique's grazing patterns have shifted since the tracks were laid. I'm not certain why, but I intend to ask the people of Mewatson for their insight. A major proponent of the railroad. I have a duty to assist in this matter, and I too would hear what the Hitero have to say about it. They are the ones most affected, after all. It's just a Tuliyollal withdrawal, I'm sure. I believe it would be best to begin with consulting their leader, Huato. The rest of you can accompany us to Hitero encampment if you like. Get the sniper rifle at Kona. We've got a Tuliyollal withdrawal to deal with. Desert's haunted. Always has been. That ain't nothing new. Vow of resolve, vow of reason. I bid you welcome to our camp. But what brings you all the way to Mewatson? I thank you for seeing us. Our visit concerns the matter of the Jacques Tarral Railroad. You two have noticed the Ronique's unexpected change in behavior, then. My son, Shepeto, has been looking into this matter. Shepeto? Normally, we'd expect the Ronique to keep their favorite grounds near for a while yet, and despite a thorough search, we haven't found anything wrong with the quantity or quality of grazing in Betalonan and Yatanane. Yet they refuse to keep where they usually would, instead pushing westward towards a railroad. I certainly see no cause for unseasonal migration. Nevertheless, should they continue to move west, we will follow. As any true Hitero would, I suppose. And as you may have surmised, I am of Hitero descent. My parents traveled with the Ronique as well, though I myself have no memory of the experience. I was left behind as a babe, you see, during such a migration. One of many sacrifices necessitated by a nomadic lifestyle, I am forced to assume. That's when he was taken in. A chance encounter with a kind Palu merchant was the only reason I survived. Taking pity on me, he taught me his trade that I might fend for myself. Became a stall-keeper in Tuliyollal's markets. That is where the Don servant found me and adopted me. I had already been in the palace some time when Lamachi came to join us. Like me, she had been cast aside by her parents. I knew the pain of solitude and wanted to spare her that suffering. As this tiny child's new brother, I swore I would always be there for her. Truly, never heard of the Ronique choosing a path so arduous as to force such a terrible decision, nor of any Hitero willingly leaving their own flesh and blood behind. There must have been some exceptional circumstance. I cannot say. The idea of following in their footsteps that I might better make excuses for their actions never much appealed to me. Even if it might better help you understand their current behavior? As is so often the case, you are correct. Though my discomfort with the Hitero may arise from the fear of reopening old wounds rather than blind fervor for innovation. You will nevertheless see me repeat past mistakes. And to refuse to learn one of our country's treasured traditions would make me a poor Don servant indeed. Please, teach me of the Ronique and what they mean to you. I promise. Hey, when you guys worry about the Ronique, do you also need to farm mount tokens? Because I had to. So it's kind of fucked up if you guys don't have to. It's kind of messed up. We would be delighted. In the meantime, your companions are welcome to look around. I needed 100 mount tokens. Will you learn of the Hitero culture with me? Should like to approach this with the fervent curiosity that you and my sister share, but it would be useful to know whether I am doing it correctly. They're homies. I mean, I could have been homies. No, you don't need 200 for these. You need 200 for 2 different mounts. Then it's settled. You'll learn more of the Ronique, and we'll have a look around the plains. Perhaps in the process, we'll find the answers we seek. The quickest way to learn about our way of life is to do as we do. I hope you're not above manual labor. I'm not the most experienced, I'm ashamed to admit, but I shall put forth every effort. That's all we ask. Take these tools. Now introduce yourself to anyone who looks busy and ask if you can help. They'll be happy to teach you what to do in exchange for another pair of hands to do it. No, I'm happy. Let's meet back here and share what we've learned. Okay. I'm afraid I've finished with my task for the time being. But since you're so eager to learn about our way of life, why don't I tell you a bit about our migration customs? If you're here, you already know the Ronique are our Hetso, our guides, that we travel with through turning of the seasons. We trust them to lead us to fertile lands with all that we need to survive. But you may not know that sometimes the herd splits in two, bound for different paths. On those occasions, we Hitero must also part with half our number. You may think it's strange and stressful custom, but over the years it has seen us visit new lands and broaden our horizons as people. This too is the wisdom of the Hetso. This won't do. The wind will go right through it, and me without my needle and sinew. Don't worry, I have a mending kit. Oh, these are precisely what I needed. I should be able to patch up this covering now. Given how often we pack up and reassemble our tents, they're bound to get the occasional tear. Fortunately, the Ronique hide they're made of is durable enough that we generally needn't worry. There are guides, there are food, there are tents. They are our life. Use every part of the animal, after all. You're learning about the Hetero way of life, are you? I may have a thing or two to share, but rather than talking your ear off, let me test your powers of deduction. I find answers much easier to recall later if I arrived at them myself. True! Our Hetso provides us with something that we use in medicines, poultices, and soaps to drive away pests and to sustain our fires. What is it? I'd assume they're not making medicine out of shit. I guess it's shit. Never mind. They are using shit. Both horns and hooves have cores of bone, and we use all these materials, albeit primarily in tent poles, instruments, and the like. It's not quite the answer I was looking for. It sounds like there's a story. I saw the ward away insects, and I'm like, damn it. Sounds like there's a story there, but that is indeed the correct answer. We discovered a myriad use for Ronique chips over time, each a boon to our way of life. Where there is a need, our Hetso always provide. What is it? So, you know, that actually is based on something, because I know it's not... I don't think it's horse manure. It might be cows. But there's like, they make like the discs that like are left behind by like the dried poo on the ground. Yeah, cow patties. That's what it is. Those are used for some. I don't remember what for. Bison chips and cow patties. Yeah. Like this isn't, that's why I kind of knew it was dung when I started reading the rest of it, even though I answered the other one, because I was like, that's something that's fuel. Yeah. Yeah, it's used as a, I guess as a fuel source. I had remembered seeing some sort of article, or not article, or like a documentary that talked about it at some point. Yeah, they burn it for fuel. And building houses, yeah, which, I mean, it's along the lines of what they said here. As you stroke the Ronique's coat, you note that many portions are shaggy and tangled. This one's fur is a bit overgrown, but a good brushing should thin it out. Would you like to give it a try? You need the right tool for the job, mind you. A comb of the type we're not used to would just get lost in the tangle like as not. Yeah, but I was thinking more of like modern uses, where it's like even currently, cow patties and bison chips are used to that. Geppetto sent a Ronique brush with you, did he? I like him. Now just run it through one little patch at a time. Gently. You dutifully brush the Ronique until your arms grow weary from the prolonged battle with its coat. Appears much tidier now, though the same cannot be said of your clothes, which have acquired a new coat of their own. I know that life. Well done. With less excess fur, our friend here will be more comfortable in the afternoon heat and less susceptible to illness. A combed coat also makes it easier for us to identify injuries should the need arise. Sunset, thanks for the 18 months. Just so that doesn't happen during a cutscene.
Sunset One just subscribed.
I am going to do this now. Although we did have the loot interruption for the start of the boss fight was funnier than any of them. You smell of the grass and the wind, which is a good thing, I promise. You could nearly be mistaken for one of us, if a bit on the short side. I have to wonder how Valcona is getting on. Assumed he would be reluctant to get his hands dirty, but it seems his wish to understand us was sincere. Ah, there he is now. Look, he's made a new friend. Apologies for my tardiness. I was tasked with grazing the Ronique and ended up rather far afield. I found myself wandering hither and thither at my companion's inclination. To force us back to the trail seemed inappropriate. But how was your own work? Have you anything to share? They're treasured members of the community, as well as family. Indeed. The Ronique provide for the Hitero, and in turn the Hitero are good to the Ronique, just as a family should be. Mine is not the only way. Him saying mine is not the only way just makes me think of Zoraal Ja. Mine is the path. Mine is the power. At times I lack the experience to know otherwise. My inability to conceive how a decision might be right does not mean that it is wrong. My parents had a duty to the Ronique, as they did to me. So I wonder if their leaving me behind was not so selfish an act as I once believed. I have no way to know, of course, and regardless, this has no bearing on our present concerns. We are here in service of the people of Zoraal, after all. Nevertheless, I thank you for helping me find deeper meaning in what we've done today. And I will endeavor to remain curious, especially where the Hitero are concerned. I'm glad to hear it, Valcona. You are welcome amongst our herd anytime. I can't wait to read the forum post where people complain that the people at Mewat Soen don't actually move at any point in the game. Even though they talk about being nomadic. I can't wait to read some dumb forum post about that. They're supposed to be nomadic, but they're always at Mewat Soen. Shut up. Just shut up. It's a fucking game. Just shut up. You know how many tribes of Aurora are supposed to be over in the steppe? You know how many we've met? Not most of them. The mole are also nomadic. Yep. Well, not even. Well, I mean, the mole are nomadic, but I was just saying there's the number of tribes in the steppe we haven't even met. Kona, how did it go? I believe I finally understand the significance of the Hitero. Yes, they pack up the etherite too. They nourish the Hitero as they grow, provide warmth and companionship in a harsh and unpredictable world. They are the equal of any man, not beasts to be tamed. Moreover, Ronique are sensitive. Though we may treat their injuries or brush their coats to keep them hale, they must ever be free to follow their instincts and seek lands where they might thrive. The Hitero would never cage them, and neither should we. To control their migratory patterns or capture those who wander too close... Excuse me. Who wander... There's a sneeze that's stuck. Who wander too close to the tracks is out of the question. Then it is particularly... Wait, it's Aaronville talking, hold on. Then it is particularly important to advance our original line of inquiry. Fortunately, we were able to visit the Ronique's once favored grazing grounds. As we were told, the grass looks fine, but the place is too quiet. It's not just the Ronique. Even the birds and field mice have fled. We did encounter one pack of Ceratoraptors, but they look to be passing through in a hurry. Typically, that sort of behavior in the fauna would be associated with natural disasters, earthquakes, landslides, and the like. So the Hitero would surely have put two and two together and were caused geological. God, going back to his accent is always hard. You and your adventure. Measured the area's ether to be certain. There was indeed nothing to suggest recent environmental disruption, but they did notice one anomaly. A strong etheric signature to the east, moving across the plain, albeit slowly. A Zoraal Ja. Just say it! And a powerful one like as not. A predator given the local fauna's behavior. One of the raptors we saw looked like it had a bite taken out of its tail by something with very large fangs. It couldn't be. A Turetso? A super Ronique. Turetso. Ronique Reaver. Oh, well, I guess Retso is just the Ronique. The Tu is Reaver. In the common tongue. Our people have several names for such creatures. Fangs that steal Hetso in the night is another evocative one. Ronique can fend off many predators with their horns, but not the Turetso. Their scales are tough as adamant, and neither horn nor arrow can pierce them. Well, I'm on board, so I guess I'm screwed. A well-toothed carnivore with unusually tough hide. I cannot recall any such fauna in this region. They usually roam the wilds in the northeast. Most herds keep well clear of them. I can tell you why one is so far from home and its pack both. In any case, I believe the source of the Ronique's consternation is clear, as is our next move. We must drive this Reaver away, that they might return to their grazing lands in peace. Punch, punch! Never fear. We will make sure that beast threatens you no more. The Ronique Reaver is a clear threat to the local population. I cannot allow it to roam unchecked. But it won't do us It won't do for us to go running off in search of it without having made proper preparations. If others returning from across the plane have spotted it, they may be able to inform us of its recent behavior and where it may be found. It will be saved through several points. Okay. No, I don't. Sleeping. It's suddenly light outside.
Help! Help!
Helping.
Hitero is coming this way.
Oh, well, that's easy.
It has beasts across the plains in a panic, and our Ronek are practically paralyzed with fear. We must get them to safety.
We can assist by helping to calm the creatures. Once they're less agitated, it should be possible to hurt them.
And after they're out of harm's way, we'll deal with the Ronek Reaver.
I suggest you remain here to attend to the Ronek when they arrive.
They'll be safe with me. Please, be careful out there.
Alright, I'm turning on the auto advance. Might as well at this point, so I don't keep forgetting. I could have swore I had it on last patch and then it turned off.
Make haste. We must protect the Ronek.
Yeah, well, listen. Yeah, but I'm going to call them Roni.
Don't worry. We're right behind you.
Actually, I'm slightly in front. Though with latency, Kona might be seeing me as behind. I see one!
There they are.
They're terrified. We must do what we can to soothe them.
They're so scared. Alright, I'm here to stroke you. I know, I just turned on auto advance for voice only.
Let's look for stragglers.
Next side story like Pandemonium? We had it, it's the Arcadian. The Arcadian is the side story equivalent to Pandemonium. That happened already. We started that already.
There must be something up ahead. Come. There.
Hey!
These are no match for the likes of us.
Leave them alone! I like seeing Kona. Kona's just rocking them right now. Alright, watch the Ronique with the chainsaws, man. I did do Pandemonium, yeah. I put the video out for it. There's so many predators. Did you just single target Bioblaster, Kona? Come on now. I'm disappointed in you.
All or nothing then.
Oh, is he gonna fucking LB? Yeah. Cool, machinist LB. New machinist LB when? Stop doing single target bioblaster.
It seems that did the trick.
For the fodder, at least. But where's...
Where are they? Where are they? Oh, hey, that thing looks friendly.
Look there! We've got a big one coming!
Impenetrable scales and wicked fangs. That's a Reconnecting Reaver, and no mistake.
Get the sniper rifle out. Damn, that thing is scared senseless.
Not one there. Not so fast.
Oh! Not the glasses.
Even should it cost me my life. I will save the Hetzo!
Don't worry, I'm here too, man. Shoot it in the mouth. It doesn't have scales in its mouth.
Kona! Are you alright?
Do not concern yourself with me. Get the Ronek to safety.
There. You've nothing to fear.
I mean, no, you absolutely have something to fear. We just got to go in the other direction, away from said thing to fear.
Right! Let's finish the job!
Damn right.
I made a vow.
Yeah, I'll get around to it eventually, Kiki.
You shall plague them no longer!
I binged season 1 when it came out. I haven't had time to binge season 2 yet. I have to wait till after Ultimate. Damn it!
You'll find the power of reason is not without result.
Damn, that line was hard. Just like this thing's fucking scales. Jesus. We gotta break those scales.
Buy me some time to think, will you? It must have a weakness, and I will find it.
Yeah, shoot it through its mouth. It doesn't have scales inside.
Keep it
You're gonna get the sniper out to pierce its scales? Wow, that thing is even like, oh, never mind. I thought it was just only picking him. I'm like, that's messed up. Stop doing Bioblaster. Home gang being used. Oh, here we go.
A protective current of ether. Whence does it flow?
Look at him analyzing it. Bro, you're just supposed to get 50 gauge. What the hell's going on, man?
I've got it.
Ow. Here it is, the rifle from the trailer.
Round to the chest and you're done for.
Damn. Now we kill. This thing is experiencing pain for the first time in its life. How many full metal blasts are you gonna throw out? What the hell? You cheater! You dirty cheater! Look at how many full metals he's throwing out. Okay, he's putting auto crossbows in between them though, so he's not that intelligent. Solid use of Shake It Off. I got defensives. Oh, here it goes again, Kona. I see you doing the full metal spam again. Give me my damage ups.
This is going to hurt.
It's gonna hurt him. Give me all the ether. Ah! Full metal Kona.
We did it.
Okay, can I get my nuts now?
The Etso, are they?
Don't forget to carve. No, we're 2 months
Ronek
too
have all
early.
made it
3
to
months too
Becho
early
Hetzo.
for that.
Hunters are scouring the area for any remaining threats. But the local fauna appear to have calmed down.
Just because it's November doesn't mean I'm not allowed to hunt. I can get as many nuts as I want.
Enough for your timely aid. You, most of all, Bow of Reason.
You mean me most
We
of all?
feared you would be loath to take direct action, yet you didn't hesitate to put your life on the line for our Hetzo.
I did no more than is a Dawn servant's duty. The ethereal conductivity of those scales is astounding. I dare say we could repurpose them to create a device that emits controlled pulses of ether.
Ether resembling that of the predator the Ronek fear most.
And then put it on the railroad
Might
tracks.
work. If we struck the right balance, we would have the means to deter the Ronek from approaching the railroad without causing them undue distress.
Technology!
Incredible! Kona, you've done it again.
He's so smart!
I must say, I was hoping I'd never have to see one of these again. Still haven't forgotten the last one. And it's been more than 20 years now. I had come as a trader to the camp in Lozeniheta. A camp that was obliterated in an instant by that monster.
Lozeniheta. That's where the Pelu trader found me as a babe. Please, can you tell me what you saw?
As I said, I had traveled there to trade with our fellow Hetzaro. Like us, they followed the Ronek. And like us, they were visited by a Reaver. The fiend struck like a whirlwind in the night. It was chaos. I grabbed some token belongings and bolted in a panic, thinking only of getting as far away as possible. But even in my panicked state, I could not help but notice the young couple racing the other way, toward the fell creature.
Because they're brave.
Will distracted, I heard one cry. Save our son! Save the Hetzo!
Oh, going on your pants.
After that, nothing but the pounding of my heart and feet and Ronek thunder. I ran and ran. And as the sun broke the horizon, I found myself separated from both man and beast.
Kona, your parents, they were heroes.
Windborne words say that a group of survivors reunited with their remaining Ronek and have long since moved on. But still more were never seen again, including the brave couple. Or so the story goes.
And what became of their child?
I'm afraid I don't know. But if he wasn't with the survivors, even if he lived through that night, the wilderness wouldn't have been kind to a little one out on his lonesome.
Maybe not. But perhaps a passing Pelu would. And one day, even a Dawn servant himself. All these years, I was convinced that my parents had left me behind to follow after the Ronek. But now I see, they didn't abandon me. They were trying to keep me safe. I've wasted so much time resenting them, when in truth, they gave me everything I have today. It is thanks to them that I live to know the warmth of family, even after they were gone. And now that I am done, servant, all of Tuliyollal is my family. A family I will always protect, as my parents protected me.
Good job, Kona. Now both of them have closure. To know that the Hetzo are safe is more than enough. Yet would it be wrong to hope that in protecting them, we also avenged my parents? It is the least I owe to them after all this time. Mister, I thank you for standing by me, as Dawn's servant and as the oft imperfect man beneath that mantle. Now let us return to our attentions to the matter that we came here to address, shall we? We have removed the root cause of Ronik's strain from their favorite grazing, and obtained tools to devise an additional precautionary measure. A silent whistle, as it were. This whistle must be capable of emitting pulses of ether strong enough that they will shy away from the tracks on instinct, yet not so strong as to drive them into a panic. If we can achieve this, it will be a far sight better than traditional whistle, more effective and less stressful for the creatures themselves. Let us return to Shaloni Station and begin work on it then. Walika and his crew will doubtless be relieved to finally have a solution. It's all about heritage. The crossroads of life, if you will. Also, literal railroads. Sorry, I was reading something. Heritage and where it can be found. Whoa. You look pleased about something. Good news for the railroad, I take it. So the Ronik were avoiding a predator. Smart ones they are. And Valkona's not too bad himself, what with his whistle idea. Sit tight, we'll have this train on the tracks before you know it. Alright, sitting tight. Fight or flight? Yeah, right.
We're ready to go.
Whoa. She looks as good as new.
Alright, let's drive her into another dome.
If I had time to do a proper job, could have really made her shine. Had to cobble together the exterior with spare parts. We refurbished the interior, though. Not that you can appreciate it from out here.
Well, let me go take a train ride then.
But as far as the Ronek are concerned, we've spared no effort. From the ballast to the ties, we've adjusted every bit of the track so she'll run quiet as a field mouse.
You and your crew have worked wonders. Our nation is in your debt.
Come now. If anything, credit's due to Tuliyollal. It's thanks to the folk you recruited from every corner of the continent that we were able to get her up and running so quickly.
Damn right.
Besides, the ethereal whistle's the true marvel. And we wouldn't have that without the scales you brought us. However grateful you are, know that we're even more thankful.
Where's Smile? Where's Smile? Love the America accent.
If we're done talking, let's put this train through our paces.
That's still pretty loud, I'm not gonna lie. Alright, well, it needs to actually be carrying, like, passengers. It's just the engine car for now. Oh no!
There's a Ronek up ahead.
Now, to test our whistle.
On it. Just point it in the general direction and...
Getting the fuck out of here.
It's moving away. Meanwhile, our friends over there appear wholly unperturbed.
Where's Smile? This is well past the dungeon, yes.
With this, we can alert those who wander too close without disturbing the rest of the herd.
A roaring success! In a quiet way, like.
A whispering success. Hey, I'll be seeing you for custom delivery soon.
Vow of reason. The Hitero Railroad is back in service.
Excellent. Let's try to not have any other dimensions randomly pop up on the train track this time, please. That would be appreciated if we could just keep all other dimensions off the railroad. For a while there, we were real worried we'd never get the railroad running again. But now that test drive was such a success, we can breathe easy and start hauling people to and from the dome. First Shaloni, then the continent. Watch out, Hitero. Here we come. I share that sentiment, but we got a mountain of work ahead of us to ensure smooth operations. Time to get back to it. The efforts of all here today have not gone unnoticed. Once more, I thank you. As for our own work, I trust you can handle matters in Alexandria, Lamachi. Surely we're not gonna summon... Well, we didn't summon Juno to Tural. Somebody, Zoraal Ja made a Juno. Crossroads, that's the name! Alright. It's possible that Shadow's made some headway by now, and regardless, we should spread the word that the railroad's been restored to service. Shayo, what do you have her working on? Zoraal Ja's mother. Damn, look at his arms. Yo, them triceps, though. I'd feel the same if I were in his shoes. Have felt the same. Some questions are painful to leave unanswered. There's no cause to look at me like that. The Kafui we knew may have only been a simulacrum, but her memory was real. I needn't search for what she left behind. By the way, I love his chain. See the chain on the back right here? Flexes, clean knees. I needn't search for what she left behind, because she left it with me, and I will carry it always. Literally, it's on his backpack. Just see? Speaking of things, I'm glad they pointed it out. Is that a teeny tiny Kafka? What? No. It's merely a token from Alexandria. Our friends in Oblivion will not take no for an answer, so I thought it was as good a souvenir as any. Whatever you say. For what it's worth, I think it's a nice way to bring her with you on your travels. Yes, well, you're off to the dome now, aren't you? I thought I might join you for a time. See if there's aught I can do for the people there. Much changed though it is, I still consider it my home. Of course, we can give you the full story on the way. You want it as a minion? It's okay. We have the next best thing. That cat has just looked at me like, what the fuck are you doing? Anyway, to the back rooms we go. Don't worry, there's still plenty of time for the Great Serpent of Tuliyollal. A simple yet elegant solution. Thus is the railroad back in operation. Meanwhile, Shale has nearly finished processing the data. She will be able to share her findings with us imminently. Uh-oh. I mean, hi, Y'shtola. I'm interrupting something, I gather. Why, Y'shtola? What brings you here? I've seen enough of the gate and the Skydeep cenote for now, so I'm shifting my investigation to living memory. While there, I thought it would do well to have the company of an expert on electrope. I'd like to take a closer look at the place myself. I can join you once we're finished here. Lest you fear I've forgotten, once I've made headway with living memory, the key in your keeping shall be my next subject of scrutiny. Yeah, don't forget, Grahati is in Wicked.
There was a mountain of data to sift through, much of it tantalizing, I admit. But it will take time to fully decrypt everything that piques my interest, so to answer our immediate question, I've been concentrating my efforts on the audio saved by Zoraal Ja herself.
Okay.
While I've not listened to it yet, I have a selection ready for playback. Would you like to hear it now?
Yes, please.
All right. Several audio files will play in sequence.
Do the entire... No, give me the entire thing, Shale. Don't just say the audio file thing. Say the rest of the quote.
My name is Zoraal Ja, and I decided to record this to help me put my thoughts in order, I suppose.
Mother?
Officially I was a chirurgeon with the Lance Guard. I was part of a contingent dispatched to Yasulani to hunt a Tuliyollal that was wreaking havoc. After our mission was complete, I elected to remain. It was the perfect opportunity to document the geographic distribution of medicinal herbs in this region. Or so I said when requesting special dispensation. In truth, I could not bear to return to Tuliyollal. I had hoped to aid Commander Zoraal Ja in the right of succession, but he did not so much as look my way. I was never in contention, of course. One of the names
Thirsty mom
in his army. To go back and face that reality was too much for me, so I ran. And in my cowardice, I stumbled upon this path. A path that changed my life. When the dome appeared, I found myself trapped within and reunited with my commander. How am I to speak of Commander Zoraal Ja? I admired him.
No, you're a stalker.
His incontestable strength, his unwavering focus. He was a man of great passions. I watched him, captivated by his intensity.
Definitely a stalker.
From afar, I would not dare approach. And in watching, I came to know him. His eyes too sought the distance, but not as mine did. He yearned not for another, but something else, beyond the horizon. That gaze would never fall upon me. I knew. I knew. The experiment will soon proceed to its next phase, and when it does, as he promised, I will have my heart's desire.
A baby.
Today. It should have been today. A new beginning. What I have dreamed of for so long. I hold a future in my arms. If you could see him, embrace him. Surely.
You wanted a kid just to make Zoraal Ja attempt to be a father.
So full of hope I was. A foolish hope.
This is where it's not gonna be. You were a means to an end, Zoraal Ja. She only wanted you in hopes that Zoraal Ja would pay attention to her.
Its scales are blue.
He's your son.
No, I can't.
We gotta get Zoraal Ja on Mori real quick.
I don't know how. How could I? How? To raise a child be a father. I don't. I can't. No! No! Get it away from me. Get that thing away from me!
That's a hell of an audio recording to keep.
It's all right, little one. Papa was just surprised. That's all. He'll come around. We'll be a happy family. Kaniloka's shouting for me. The research hasn't been going well. But I can't let him take it out on my baby. Hush now, little one. I know just where to hide you.
And she was never heard from again.
That's all of them.
Zoraal Ja just didn't believe in himself as a father.
He was abandoned, the poor dear. We found him in the drift downs a few years ago.
We know some manner of accident happened at the facility after this was recorded. Perhaps your mother couldn't come back for you.
Hey, Zoraal Ja.
I'm fine, Lamachi. Father and mother, they were both so lonely. If we could have been together, maybe they wouldn't have been. But sometimes things don't work out, no matter how hard you try. I can't tell if I'm happier now. But it's better to know, I think. Thank you, everyone.
This kid's goated. Yeah, when's our Zoraal Ja plushes coming out? It's better to know a profound reason for one so young. Though I wish he didn't have to be. Zoraal Ja is indeed wise beyond his years. His years. Yet one never outgrows the need for dependable companions. 'Tis fortunate that he has you. Thank you, Shale. Because of you, I get to hear my mother's whole story. You heard it because you were brave enough to listen, Zoraal Ja. If you remember one thing, remember that. Now you know the value of not forgetting. Now then, having shared what I can present, I'm ready to head to living memory when you are. I am planning to be thorough, so we'll need to stop for supplies on the way. That said, I promise we won't remain over long. I know we all have much and more to attend to. For now, farewell. I'll see you in 7.2, Ishtola, or 7.4, one of the two. Hug the baby. A word before you leave. The network's already spreading word of the railroad. We expected people would be clamoring to get on the first train back, yet the reaction's been the polar opposite. Scant few seem inclined to depart Alexandria anytime soon. What? When we spoke before, you said many from Tuliyollal were eager to reunite with friends and family. Maybe they're concerned about getting through Vanguard. If so, we could take turns accompanying them. In any case, we need to speak with the people ourselves. Let's start at Laynode 9. Wuklamat, I'm gonna blow your mind. I have to start there. I can't go anywhere else. I don't have access to solutions 1 through 8. Or 10. It's going good. A lot of emotional maturity throughout this MSQ patch. Oh, oops. A lot of growth to be had. Yeah, that's the 12th, Ox. That's why I didn't say, because the 11th is where you go to the 11th, I think it is, in the middle of Orogenics, and then the 12th is where you fight Zoraal Ja. Which is why I said 1 through 8 and 10. If I'm remembering the number of floors correctly. They may still be gathering people at Praxis Park. Let's try there first. Well, yeah, I think it's actually the 10th is Orogenics, the 11th is Zoraal Ja, and then the 12th is cut off in his living memory. Unless living memory was the 13th. I don't remember the exact number. Yeah, I was going to say 12 is the Everkeep, and then 13 is living memory. And then 11 is yeah, so I was right.
Did something happen?
I don't think we're going to find very many people on those floors.
Have you heard? Someone was killed in the Thunder Yards.
Oh.
The Thunder Yards was one of the hunters slain by a beast.
It was a hunter, all right. And a veteran at that. But it was no fiend that did him in. Only a random bolt of lightning.
Yeah, that could be a problem.
Such a senseless way to die. They say that he expended his last soul cells during Zoraal Ja's attack on the city.
Fucking Zoraal Ja. To be fair, if he's gonna die, he's gonna die.
For an upright,
Rocky IV.
hard-working man to meet such an unceremonious end, it feels wrong.
But we'll be fine, won't we? Even if the system no longer erases our memory of the departed, the regulators continue to function. I shan't go before my time. Growing old and passing peacefully with the help of the ushers is only natural.
Well, you may think so, but how are we to know? We have no memory of those who have gone. More may have met violent deaths than passed from old age, and we would be blissfully unaware.
See, this is why it's important to know.
It could happen to you, or me, to any of us.
Yeah, that's called living and dying. You're learning about it now.
Spend every waking moment thinking only of how we might die.
Yes. No, I mean, no.
With time, I had hoped that they'd be able to adjust to their new situation. But it's only gotten worse.
Look! It's Queen Sphene!
What in the fuck? Excuse me? Something's not right here. The color scheme I think is different.
Help, Queen Sphene! The grown-ups are really upset and I don't know what to do.
I see that you are as kind-hearted as ever, Nico. Never fear. I'm here.
I mean, they are called the Preservation. And for those who forgot,
Sphene is gone.
The her head adornment was glowing before. But she also looks like she's been drained of all existence.
Gussin, you were the Queen's aide, weren't you? What's the meaning of this?
Begging your pardon, Vow of Resolve. But Her Majesty Queen Sphene is paying visit to her people, as is her wont.
You're behind this.
What are you talking about? Sphene is dead. You officiated the funeral yourself. We all placed flowers to mourn her passing.
A funeral? For Her Majesty? What a curious jest. You know full well that ceremony was to commemorate those lives lost during the attack of Alexandria.
The preservation.
Her Majesty walks among her people that she might support them in this most trying of times.
Fucking preservation, man.
Surely that is not cause for consternation.
The program has gone crazy.
Your Majesty, won't you free us from these terrible memories of the departed? This is no way to live. Not for us, nor our children.
I wish that I could. Truly I do. But with living memories shut down, even I cannot restore.
Well, at least she knows it was shut down properly.
Comfort. You needn't fret, however. I have prepared an alternate solution.
I don't want you to have any solutions to anything. The only solution I want is 9.
All of us shall be made endless. I have created a new system that allows you to transplant your memories directly into an ethereal vessel. One not reliant upon soul cells. This way, you need never again fear death. You may live as you please, and for as long as you like.
I don't think this idea is a good one, Sphene.
Our stores of ether are, at present, not sufficient to provide this boon to everyone.
You're not getting the key back, so fuck off.
But some of you received neo-regulators for the funeral ceremony, did you not? And there are still more we have yet to distribute. 5,000.
This was her plan. Get the funeral was just to get everyone to get the regulators.
Those with neo-regulators will be called to join the Endless, and thence be free of suffering forevermore.
But only 5,000 of us?
You Victral!
The real Sphene would never be content to save only some of her people.
Damn, Wicklemot be right.
Who are you?
I am Sphene, the Queen of Reason.
Don't like that. That's not good. The preservation really had some fail-safes here, didn't they?
Let's return to the back room. I need to calm down, and then we'll talk.
The crown itself is probably the backup. The crown has to be destroyed, or Sphene will just keep doing this. Yeah, I killed you, and I'm gonna do it again. Crown's a backup, I'm telling you. So Sphene with your own eyes, then. So it wasn't someone else. We've heard about the Queen of Reason's proclamation. The rumors spread through the district like wildfire. There's not to report yet, but we have all eyes and ears out in Everkeep and heritage found. Sphene was erased. If she's back, then are the Endless. Seriously, what was that? Queen Sphene has returned? How? But you're still the one with authority, don't forget. Without the Meso Terminal, how does she propose to create new Endless? Must contact Y'shtola as soon as possible. Yeah, it's either Pastorat like people thought, or the helmet could even just be Pastorat. Like, could be that Pastorat's like ether is stored in the helmet as well, and lets her do some weird stuff like this. We only caught the proclamation from a distance, but I can tell you that the message about the Neo-Regulators was received with utmost clarity. It couldn't have been Sphene. She should have been destroyed when the Meso Terminal shut down. Thanks for the 62 months, deal. Without a single Alexandrian to bear witness, presented with an identical figure claiming to be their beloved queen, so no surprise they would choose to believe she's alive. What is troubling, however, is their denial that the funeral was held in her honor. It is as if their memories have been erased. Given that the memories of Oblivion remain unaffected, that was likely the work of the Regulators. But by whose design? Someone smart enough to play at being the Queen of Reason. And that, guys, even if some suspect deception, most of Alexandria will be on her side. We need to find out who she really is. Yeah, I think the Preservation is... Because I've been saying the Preservation is probably the actual main villain leading up to point 3. Because they're called the Preservation. They're not just... They're Preserve. While I agree wholeheartedly, we should avoid drawing more attention than we already have. We must be patient until Oblivion's network turns up a lead, or until our self-proclaimed queen makes her next move. Select a reward. Meanwhile, in living memory. Yeah, the you must take a reward thing is new. It's just there to make sure that you don't wonder why your quest isn't turning in. That's not good.
Where am I?
Is that Kafia's voice?
My people. Are they?
Oh, wait,
are
no.
they safe?
It's Sphene proper. It's Sphene 2.
Why am I?
The real Sphene's back too. The Sphene of Reason and the Sphene of Resolve. Dude, I don't even think you're wrong. I genuinely think it's the Sphene of Reason and the Sphene of Resolve. I'm pretty sure you're right. Real Sphene or real Sphene? There's a lot of Sphenes in place. Sphene's heartless and Sphene's nobody. Oh my god. I hate that. I hate everything about that statement. Everything about that statement is worth hating. And I had to hear it, and now I'm saying it. And we have to acknowledge it. Wait, well, the nobody then would be, No, you didn't spell it right. Spexin can't be the name. You gotta take all the letters and add X. It's Organization Third Sphene! No! Hate that. Hate that just as much as the last thing. There you go. Now everyone's got their names. Spheneception. There you go. Chat typed it all out. Now we've got all the Norded Sphene names. Yeah, I think in living memory, she was probably she was probably on the cloud, and now she's just on Wi-Fi. That's all that's happened. The cloud went down, so she just connected to Wi-Fi instead. Or Bluetooth. Probably Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi makes more sense. Honestly, what's interesting is that Electrope is effectively a technological primal, in a sense. Pretty much, it is without, like, the tempering involved. But it goes to say that if enough people believe in something, that you could technically use Electrope and make a primal, in a sense. Even probably without even trying. It could be like an accidental thing. So there's a few possibilities that lends it to itself. I like Sphene when she's not crazy. 2 Sphenes, 1 solution. Yeah, that's a pretty big cliffhanger. That's definitely I need to play 7.2. You know what that is? That's the, okay, I need to know what's next. Everyone who is worried about MSQ, now they're like, well, they got me. Those last few minutes, they're like, okay, you got me. I gotta know now. Here's the carrot. I gotta figure it out. Yoshi P got us. It's a pretty good it's a pretty good hook. We're pretty back right now. Yeah, we're definitely pretty back. Electrope will eventually run out of power. I don't think it's not that Electrope would run out of power, because what powers it is not really going anywhere. We essentially have a pocket dimension of a calamity existing on the source, and there's nothing to determine that ether is even slowly dispersing, other than the fact that time doesn't pass differently anymore once Vanguard got busted open. So I don't think, unless we were to actually manually fix the Levin ether, as you call it there, I don't think it's gonna stop. Yeah, as far as we understand, it's effectively an endless energy source. Yeah, we would need something pretty substantial to actually correct that pocket of disturbed ether. I can't imagine that being a very easy time. The patch overall is a lot of, so you know what it reminds me of? It very much reminds me of Stormblood's post MSQ. I actually really enjoyed 4.1 for a lot of the same reasons, because it really allowed, it focused on character growth with a cliffhanger at the end. It was pretty much identical in its structure to this, obviously with different characters in place. Because a lot of after 4.0, everyone was, the big question was, okay, what happens with Raoban? What happens with his relation with Nanamo in terms of like him functioning in Ul'dah? And how does, how do nations that effectively were subjugated for a decade go on with life? How do they kind of become normal again, in a sense, or what does normal end up looking like? Here, that's the same kind of core structure that happens, but it's obviously applying to the characters of Kona, who didn't really get that much character growth other than accepting Wuk Lamat as, you know, the more deserving Dawn Servant, and like seeing that his way was like not correct, which is then meant to play the polar opposite to Zoraal Ja, who completely believes there's no other way but his. So they end up playing opposites in terms of Wuklamot's relatives and how they determine things. And then, of course, dealing with Zoraal Ja, that's answering an unanswered question. That's really more for us than it is for anything else, but plays into the same themes of trying to effectively give the characters that didn't have as much, or weren't given as much limelight and didn't have as much growth. All of that. So that is very 4.1 to me. The cliffhanger is far more cliffhangery than 4.1 was. But I liked 4.1 for a lot of the same reasons. I actually remember highlighting it as the superior 0.1 patch amongst 2.1 and 3.1 comparatively at the time. And that, to be fair, it had to go up against A Realm Reborn and 3.1, which 3.1 was not crazy important in any capacity. It's really 3.2 with us being drugged again and Nidstinian and Thancred throwing a punch in the face. There's a lot of things in 3.2 that mattered a lot more than 3.1. 3.1 was the introduction of the Warriors of Darkness, which took forever to pay off until Shadowbringers. In hindsight, a good patch, but on patch, basically just a whole lot of what the heck is going on. And by the way, there's a Nutkin in front of Thancred's Nutkins. Hilarious, but not really that substantial of a patch going back to 3.1. So yeah, this is this was much better overall. The pacing's pretty good. It's about 3 hours and a lot happens in that 3 hours. Not to mention, they've now conned you into wanting a Ronique with the mount tokens. So now you need 200 mount tokens. So have fun with that. I want Ishikawa back to write the story. Correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't it Ishikawa who wanted Smile? Which a lot of people criticize. Correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't that an Ishikawa request specifically from Soken, if I recall correctly? Almost certain it was. So she's still involved, mind you. Well, we killed their natural predator, but the natural so here's the bigger question. Why was that so they say that occasionally the Turezzo, that they actually are a normal thing. It's not so much a natural predator, it's just what they call the Turezzo. The Turezzo don't normally hunt the Ronique like this one does. They have a territory they exist in, and occasionally they find themselves accidentally migrating, and then they become the Turezzo just because of how dangerous they are to the Ronique. They will eat a Ronique if they find them. Yeah, but the Ronique Reaver effectively just wanders far from its territory, and it is, in essence, a MacGuffin for Kona's growth. More than anything, that's the purpose it serves. It's there specifically so Kona can get to the realization of what happened with his parents. It's not like integral. It doesn't need to happen technically. Anyway, I want it as a mount. That's just Devilyo. No, that was Anjanath. Devilyo would be way more threatening than that. I still remember I watched a YouTube video where there's a guy who like puts fictional like video game and movie creatures on a Jurassic Park island with like a set number of other predators, and he put a Devilyo on the island, and the Devilyo ate all of the like killed and ate all the large wildlife and then starved to death because it was insatiable and couldn't pace itself. And so only the smaller animals ended up surviving because it couldn't sustain itself and couldn't actually chase them down as much. So it's fun. That's how I think of a Devilyo now, is it literally eating itself out. Then again, a Devilyo would find a way to travel across an ocean most likely. But yeah, like I said, I enjoy getting closure like that on a character. Because it means that we don't have to, it's a chapter closed. Now I don't have to wonder about those things. I don't have to wonder what happened to Koana's parents. I don't have to wonder what happened to Galal's parents. It effectively eliminates a portion of the unanswered things from what we started figuring out in Dawn Trail. And for me, that's good because it means it's a story, it's a plot line I don't need to consider going into future patches. And I was okay with the way that it was done. I think Zoraal Ja's is done better. I think it's meant to be better than Koana's. I think it's meant to be more impactful, especially than Koana's, which is really him just continuing his whole idea of effectively, much like his sister, not really understanding the people and not coming to the realization in the same way she does, and thus not really having the growth to accept it. He just kind of accepts that a different way is better without actually learning into it. And this is his kind of late way of learning into it. Yeah, I'd prefer, I enjoyed tying up loose ends. Regardless of how the quality of the loose end being tied up, I'd rather have it tied up than have it sitting in the background for ages. But like those are clearly there to get you to the point where when the cliffhanger is there, all you think about is the cliffhanger. Now you don't have to think, you don't have to dedicate any energy to anything except the cliffhanger. That's really the key behind the double closures of Galul and Koana. All of your mental energy is now on the double Sphene question. There's no other, like, I can't think of a single other lingering question that I had about, like, about any particular unfinished plotline in Dawn Trail's release. I guess, yeah, you could speculate about what actually happens with the mother. Does something other than the facility? Like, I just assumed that she got killed when all of the researchers and people became fucking zombies and murdered everyone there. There's enough blood and gore to assume she just fucking died in the facility going nuts. And is there a card for the second boss? Does anyone know? Is there a card for Kiloka? Yes. Does it say... Does anyone have the text for it? Because that probably tells you what realistically happened. Yeah, I mean, some people assume she's the rabbit because you get the echo vision, which I think is a fair assessment. But I have a hard time thinking that's anything but whatever was in the Vidral at the time. More so just seeing that event taking place, because that thing is in the jail already at that point. I don't think Kafkia is the rabbit. I don't think she's the rabbit. I don't care about the braids thing. I don't think she's the rabbit. I know it would be funny because she's a Viera. It's a I get it. The braids as well. I don't think that's Kafkia. Rabbit. A devotee of Zoraal Ja's expansionist ideals, Kenaloka ran a secret laboratory where he labored with others educated in electrope technology to develop new battlefield advancements, though he persisted ere his research could bear fruit. Such was his obsession that his spirit refused to pass. Okay, I wanted to know if his spirit refusing to pass on is the line I needed. I wanted to know if whatever happened when the facility went to shit, if it had something to do with him doing something. But if he passed on, yeah. So here's the thing. I don't think whatever that is clearly not the Zoraal Vidral, because the Zoraal Vidral was stuck inside and stuff was going wrong regardless. So it's either that Tishal is the rabbit, which, you know, okay, would make sense. Totally tracks with the way the echo works. To just see the vision like we see it. But it also would track if she just literally died. Yes, they are, Kahlo. That's correct. Yeah, exactly. The other subjects in the facility just broke out and killed them. Like, that's why I don't immediately subscribe to the idea of her being the Tural Vidral, because look what happened to the facility. Literally, even if, no matter what happened, even if she were to be made the Tural Vidral, clearly everyone was also killed at the same, like it wasn't the Vidral that was locked away that killed everyone in the facility, because it's locked away. Which is why I could totally see it just being that she died when all the subjects broke free. Yeah, I think it would have been more obvious that if she was the Tural Vidral. What I will say is it wouldn't surprise me if she's just in one of those pods and has just like deteriorated and or yeah, that she was just got like forced into it. I don't get me wrong. I think she was probably either forced into an experiment, just not the big one, or just killed by things. I just don't think she's the Tural Vidral, and I definitely don't think she's alive. Nor do I think, and this is important, I don't think it's important to know that. The bottom line is she's gone. Yeah, okay, so that is actually the big counterpoint to her being the Tural Vidral. She only got her baby because Kaniloka's experiments went well. And the experiment was literally for that Tural Vidral. So them succeeding on some experiment with the Tural Vidral is the only reason why she got to have Galul in the first place. Yeah, that honestly tracks. I wasn't even thinking about that. I was just thinking about the proximity to the disaster. Sorry, I saw an S rank. Hey, this S rank we just learned about in the dungeon. Yeah, she could have had a hand in causing the accident. She could have just died from thing. Yeah, she wouldn't be the Tural Vidral. It literally wouldn't even make sense. Hello, Atticus, the primogenitor, which we now know why that's your name. Well, no, she didn't. Yeah, she quote unquote abandoned, because it does seem like she didn't want to abandon Zoraal Ja. She just didn't want her baby to also be used in experiments now that it wasn't valuable to Zoraal Ja. You can tell it definitely scared her, the thought of Zoraal Ja not accepting it, because that would mean that it was, and where she was, it was definitely subject to being used as a... What the hell? Subject to being used as a subject. Yeah, she wouldn't... I know that some people might point to Otis, who is both an endless and... Well, I mean, he was literally double endless in a sense. He was like prototype endless plus end result endless. But I don't think Kafkia would be in the type of endless she was, either of them. Well, I mean, she was one type of endless. She was just controlling it remotely. If she was also an experiment. I don't think that makes sense. I love reading. But yeah, no, it's I thought it was a pretty good MSQ overall. Yeah, I just don't think it's I don't think it's her at all. Definitely not convinced of that. To me, braids are not a reason for me to think it. You know? No onions. Womp womp. Yeah, good MSQ. Yeah, my only complaint is not enough voice acting.